Wendy Richter. I'm gonna fuck you up.
We want Mina.
Mamacita.
Thank you, Trish.
I am Medusa, always have been Medusa, and always will be Medusa.
That too? It was gonna come out anyway.
I break bitches.
Call me Diva. Did anyone else's brain break when Megan Bain and Penelope Ford came on the screen? Kia ora, what's up? Welcome back, sickos. I am Bex, and this is episode 8 of Don't Call Me Diva. We talk women's wrestling. AEW Women's Wrestling, to be precise. We are in video, so you can get all the full experience of my jibber jabber and audio on YouTube as well, and all your podcast providers. You might need to scroll a little bit, because even if you type my full name, well, not my final name, our full name, you kind of like lose us in the scroll. But just keep scrolling and you will find us. We run down the weekly episodes of Dynamite, Collision, Ring of Honor, and I take a look back at the shows from AEW from the beginning. We also discuss a women's wrestler from either the Diva era or the Attitude era, WCW, as it was, TNA's Knockouts, and some indie wrestlers who faced AEW roster, who faced the AEW roster. Sometimes there is news, sometimes there's a guest, but always there is fun. We discuss lore, we make up lore, we fantasy book, and we waffle off on tangents. This way is me. So let's fucking go, sickos. Woo! How do you like that, people? I have myself a snappy little intro. I'm proud of myself for that one. Woo! So, what did you think? Did you like it? Because that's what we're keeping, okay? Is it good? Woo! I love to watch the AEW women's roster blossom. How about you? It's been growing since the beginning. And if you need any catch up on the women's roster at all of AEW, go check out our previous episodes. In episode 1, I tell you all about me and my little journey into being a wrestling fan. And we go through all the roster with all their little bits and pieces, okay? But if we come upon anyone new, we'll run them down. Okay? Love you. News? We've got news. One of my favorite divas, Melina, is celebrating 20 years in wrestling. Congratulations, Diva. She is having an event called Divas in Drag, which is held on the 17th of April, which is a Wednesday, which is International Sickos Day, but we'll get to that later. It's going to be in Las Vegas, so if you went, let me know and let me know how it was going. Alexis Mateo will be there, the drag performer. There will be a meet and greet with a bunch of like diva eras, so like Layla. Didn't really know much about Layla. She was on while I wasn't watching, so it'd be fun when we get to her. Jillian, who I cannot wait to talk about the whole facial growth boogeyman thing. I hope it doesn't turn out to be problematic, because in my head, it was brilliant and it made me crack up. Melina's Open Invitational Battle Royale is the main event, and other matches are Kid Bandit, Jamie Senegal, who I'm pretty sure we will come across in a AEW match sometime. Aaliyah James and Hingsley, 2 women I don't know. Jazzy, because it's Jazze, so I'm assuming Jazzy, or it might be Jazz. Perry versus Lara Dominatrix. X Massacre, which is a cool fucking name, versus Maserati. We know about Maserati. We talked about her in episode 6 of this show. She was tagging with Jordan Blue against Diamante and Athena on Ring of Honor. Well, it's basically Diamante. She like murdered the 2 of them, and then Athena came on and went, ha ha! It was actually quite brilliant. The tag match on this event is J-Rod and Kelsey Heather versus Nikki Van Blair and Frankie B. Woo! Women in wrestling, we are celebrating it. I love it. Now, that is a lot of new names for Don't Call Me Diva, and I would love to do like little mini dives into them right now. But later on, we have a battle royale coming up, and in the look back, and there are a lot of new names back there. So we're just gonna hold off on them for the time being, okay? Alrighty, let's get into it, people. Bring the boom, shake your boobs, it's dynamite. The crowd is hot and replica belts are shining under the arena's lights. We're in Baltimore, Maryland at the corporate something or other sponsored arena. Not necessary. People have signs, lots of AEW shirts are in the crowd, and of course the adorable no fucks given Orange Cassidy kid is here. Baltimore loves wrestling, and I love wrestling Baltimore fans. Yes, that was absolutely the way I wanted to say that. We open up with a Death Riders promo, and the first line that comes out of our dear world champion's mouth is actually putting over the entire AEW roster in his own little Moxley way. So thanks. Marina once again has the briefcase. She's in white t-shirt, black pants. And Claudio and fucking Yuta are there as well. Pac, of course, is only dressed in his battle undies, as is tradition. Not women's wrestling news, but we hope Pac, fave of the pod, has a good recovery from his legit ankle or foot injury that he suffered during the match with Swerve. Eek. He's a fucking he's a good cunt. He was in a lot of pain, but he got back into the ring and he got, and he took the pin so they could like finish the match like clean and shit. And it was, I wish that man all the healing goodness because he's fucking awesome and he has one of the coolest intros in wrestling. But I am moving on because that was a big digress from women's wrestling. Marina comes out with marks for his fight against the incredible Katsuyori Shibata from the Ops. She is jacked. I don't know if it was just the lighting, but her shoulder muscles are popping and her arms are ripped. She has a problem. Well, she is a problem, but I love her. She hangs outside the ring as is tradition, and the two men have an excellent match. Afterwards, she holds the ropes down for the men's world champion, but they are stopped by the arrival of our dastardly EVPs, the Young Bucks. Mox looks at Marina, and she is eyeballing the EVPs. Like she is contemplating ending them right then and there. She doesn't care that they're her bosses at all, considering the ones who hate the Young Bucks for real hate them with a burning passion. If Marina just said fuck it and hurdles towards the EVPs, getting them in a one-arm choke and another one in a fucking leg choke and ended them right there, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't have been surprised at all. Would the problem Marina Shafir be their god if they did that? Therefore, AEW would be their paradise, them being the AEW haters who hate Young Bucks so much. And if Marina Shafir went and murdered them, would she then be their hero? That was a long way of saying that, but you get what I mean? Instead, though, Mox calls her off and they get the fuck out of there. So no murdering is going to happen of the Young Bucks today. They blah, 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 and we move on. The remarkable looking Renee Paquette gives us some beauty to this highly dramatic episode of Dynamite so far. Renee is gorgeous in a black tank top, black and gray checkered pants, it looks like, and friend of the pod, the silver belt, is back. It's made out of a material that I don't know the name of and I can't Google, but it was also like, women will know. Someone will know. Anyone will know. Fashion people will know. You remember those fucking purses, like little like coin purses back in the day, and they were shiny, but it was a material and they're really expensive now because they're vintage. Anyway, if you have any idea what I am fucking rabbiting on about, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. Oh, yes. Our friend, the Silver Belt, has been on the show a few times as Renee likes to bring her out. So we'll be seeing her often. Her hair is up in a loose bun, and she is interviewing Penelope Ford and Megan Bain. Back to what I said at the beginning of the show. Whoo! Respectfully. Megan is statuesque in maroon and has her complimentary headpiece on top that goes gorgeously with the very small amount of fabric that the Megasis has covering her very gorgeous muscular body. That's what I'm going to say about that. My girl Penelope is looking fine in skin tone corset lingerie top, which I did actually find out the name for what these things are. Bustier! Ha ha! With black lace detailing and those hot as fuck black leather pants or whatever they are. I mean, I like to think that they're fake leather, so we're just going to go with that. Oh boy, that was a moment. Penelope Ford opens up the interview with statements on Bain's recent loss, but it is Penelope who retorts while Megan stands statuesque in all her glory. Penelope makes it clear that it was just a taste of defeat. The super bad girl puts everyone on notice that nothing is going to stop Bain, especially, apparently, a loss to Tony Storm. Megan suddenly breaks out of her stance, pushes everyone aside, standing straight in front of the camera. Bain gives us her own words. I will make you bow down. Penelope slides right in and is like, see what you did there? Perfect full stop. And we fade away. I'm scared. If I was a women's wrestler in the AEW roster, I'd be scared. I'd be very scared. I don't want Megan Bain to make me bow down. Well, do I? No, we're moving on from that. We fade out to Boston. We get a whole promo for Spring Breakthrough, which is going to be in Boston next week. We are celebrating an AEW milestone, which we will be talking about a little later. Everyone, you guys will already know, but we're going to get Collision on Thursday, which is awesome. It's going to be probably a long ass show for Boston, which is quite cool, like a mini little pay-per-view, which is awesome. So have fun. If you went, let me know, because I would like to know how it went. It's time now for the first match of the Owen Hart Cup tournament on the left side, and it's about to be heavy because it's Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. People. As we discussed on episode 7, Rosa and Chris left things a little bit violent between them. So here's hoping we can all still be friends after one of them wins. We get an extra gift. It's our world champion, Timeless Tony Storm. She will be joining the commentary team, and we'll be watching the match. Not for intimidation, mind you, but if anything, as a cheerleader for the women that are fighting in the ring to face her. She's a big fan of the women's roster, as we have previously said, and I'm sure she'd be happy to be facing either Thunder Rosa or Chris Statlander. We will see. Of course, this means that our dear announced team, Tony Schiavone, Taz, Excalibur, will be turning into corpses on regular basis. So I hope they have a defibrillator handy. How did I come up with that just on the cuff? Go brain. It's the caffeine. Always the caffeine. I normally, as you know, try not to quote the world champion, as she is full of gold. And I want you to go watch it for yourself. But there is just one little thing that I found quite amusing that I'll be mentioning. And when we get there, I'll be mentioning it. Disclaimer on myself. That drum roll sounds the entrance of Timeless Tony Storm, and the crowd stand in welcome of our world champion. Luther is out first, and then Timeless floats to the stage in a fabulous mode, looking ravishing in black and white. Timeless is wearing a long black sequin silk coat with black feathers along the collar. black bedazzled bikini top and bloomers. Your girl loves herself some bloomers. Oh, they're so fucking cute. Her wrist is cuffed in pearls along with her throat, a simple small handbag, and the big glorious world title belt around her waist. As Timeless approaches the announce desk, she spies an issue, hands Luther the championship, and crawls along the announce desk, pardoning herself as she goes till she reaches her chair at the end of the desk. A celebratory pose for the camera and for the crowd. And then our world champion pops their headset on and gets comfortable. The announce team are now on the final boss stage of commentary. Will they prevail? No, probably not. For Timeless is a formidable foe and might cut them some slack. They cracked themselves up enough during picture-in-picture that their defenses are pretty low when it comes to tomfoolery. The first thing that comes out of Timeless's mouth is so out of left field that she's already won already. Fucking perfect. All done. The next 7 minutes are going to be a bloodbath on commentary, I swear. Thunder Rosa. Okay, I can't do that very well, but I had to do that at least once because it's so much fun. Thunder Rosa is out first, and she is gorgeous in baby blue. She is in full cowboy getup with some sexy chaps, white booty shorts, blue crop top, arm sleeves of the same color with fringe and matching cowboy hat. Woman's got it all. She is Texas, but I'm getting Care Bear vibes, so I'm going to go with that. Her sugar skull paint is white with hints of blue in her lips and eyes, enhanced by glitter. Her long hair is out and flowing. It's looking fabulous. This is the beginning of Thunder's quest for the world title again. She's made this very, very clear that she really wants to have another shot at that title again. And in her mind, she's going to win it. That's good. The winner of the Owen Cup tournament gets a big-ass trophy, a pink title bout. This certain shade of pink, by the way, is the Hart family's color, just in case you don't know. Back through the days of the Hart Foundation, they adopted this color, and then it followed through with Brett and Owen and with Anvil through their singles run. Anvil's daughter, Natty Neidhart, who is a current wrestler in the World Republican Wrestling Entertainment Company. She is always in like pink and stuff too. So yeah. So that's why it's pink, by the way. Oh, sidebar, speaking of Nettie, she and I'm only saying this because I was so like, I'm sorry, what? When I heard this, she is going to GCW, which is Game Changer Wrestling, or in my head, Good Cunt Wrestling. She's going to be competing at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, which is her first match outside of a WWE anything in like 18 years. She's facing Yamashita Miyu. Miyu is a multi-time champion and has won many championships over in Japan and was the first ever Tokyo Joshi Pro's Tokyo Princess of Princess champions. Tokyo Joshi Pro is an all-woman sister promotion to DDT, which is Dramatic Dream Team, which is where Katsuyori Shibata, where Takeshita comes from. Her most recent, and Emi Sakura. Her most, her most recent was her second run with the Princess Tag Team Championships there with friend of AEW, Maki Ito, which they just lost March, just gone. She uses a lot of kicks, does Miyu, and the move and lots of moves from her mixed martial arts background. So Miyu started off young, so she's been doing it for a long time, just like Natty. But she was pushed like to the top of her promotion pretty much from day one, really. Her third reign at Tokyo Pro's top title, Princess of Princess champion. Whoo! These indie promotions, well, I feel bad calling it indie promotion. These indie promotions, some of them really do waffle on with the titles. I mean, who am I to say about waffle? Was epic. The 319-day reign was ended by Shoko Nakajima who we saw Nakajima in the first fight for the Fallen, tagging with B. Priestley against Riho and Dr. Breaker. Everything all comes around. Yamashita's finishing move, just in case you want to know, is really cute. It's called the Crush Rabbit Heat and is a running knee strike to the skull. A reverse roundhouse kick, which is called a skull kick, and her submission is the TRF, a tough rolling hook, which is a modified arm lock. What the fuck does Crush Rabbit Heat mean? I have no idea, but it's fucking hilarious. Yamashita also wears pink. Ooh, so perhaps this is where this rivalry spawned from. The Heart Pink versus the Joshi Pink. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of pink, back to the Owen Hart Cup tournament match. She signs there's this little like dude at the corner of the thing, and he has a little like, thing for them to sign with a little thing. And she's like, she's sweet. She signs the kid's sign, and then she yoinks someone else's sign and holds it up as she enters the ring. It reads, "Women's wrestling is alive and well. Thank you for the proof of life. We were wondering here at Don't Call Me Diva, but now we know. Thank you." Chris Statlander comes out next. The lights go down and we see her silhouette in the blue light. It's so cool. Stat is in orange and yellow today in a two-piece battle fit with matching arm sleeves and black bandana. Chris also takes a moment to admire the prize on her way to the ring. I forgot to mention earlier, but the cup is like standing there when they enter the ring, so right there. Oh, it's next to that kid with the sign. And as Rosa had walked past it, she had admired it on her way. And Chris also does the same. It's quite fucking huge. I mean, I don't watch sports, but like, I've seen like sportsmen drinking out of a big silver thing. So just imagine your like favorite sports team's cup, if it's a big one. If it's a big one. And that's probably the same thing. They both have the goal, and the goal is to win. Thunder is battling against Statlander's strength, you see, and doing well until Chris ramps it up, and she sends Rosa to the corner. We knew it was going to start off hard and fast, so here we go. While Statlander gives us all a glorious gun show, little cheeky, Timeless delivers the line that cracks me up, and I will share here. So it is so much better coming from her mouth, of course, as everything does, which is why I usually don't do this. But Timeless is praising Chris Statlander and proposes that if they were a team, so she says, if we were a team, we'd be called Thunder Thighs. And then just out of the blue, she sideswipes Mr. Chavon, in her words. If we were a team, you'd just be called Tits. Taz dies, Excalibur treads water, Tony Schiavone is adrift at sea, and I am cry laughing on my seat. It just caught me so out of blue. So out of the blue. I love one of the things that's going to crack me up the most is like if someone's just like blabbering on, and then just out of the blue, someone like next to them just gets like a stray fucking bullet, just like bang. It's like, what the fuck did I do? I love that. It's always going to crack me up. Back in the ring, Thunder and Statlander are countering each other's offense. Thunder will get Chris down with a roll up for like the first pin, but Chris will easily kick out at 1. This is the first time they have faced each other, by the way, and this first act of the match feels more like they're kind of testing each other's limits, feeling out the strength or potential weaknesses to exploit in one another. This is the third time Chris Statlander has been in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. In the first one she was actually a replacement for Hikaru Shida. Shida needed to have a doctor's examination by the AEW doctor specifically after her street fight against Serena Deeb before she could have her second round match against Red Velvet. It is AEW policy to do this for absolutely everyone. And it was just a case of Shida was just simply unable to get back into America from Japan in time. It's just a pure travel thing. So Chris replaced her in that one. The second was in 2024 last year. She beat Nyla Rose in the first round, but then lost in the second. Lost in the second to. But then lost in the second round to 2023 winner Willow. Jesus. That was tongue-tying my brain for no reason. This is Thunder Rosa's first time in the Owen Cup tournament. And Thunder Rosa is, like I said, very passionate about regaining the world championship. Her first reign, which I think I went over slightly before, was interrupted by an injury. It was an injury to her back. But if we're going to go like realsies here, it wasn't like the hottest run at the time. In a previous conversation before we started recording this show, we were talking about how like Thunder didn't really seem to have it all just working right at the beginning. I'm making judgments, but like her character was coming across kind of arroganty. I don't like the promos weren't really connecting. There was just like off stuff. But recently, relating or relating not to a certain whatever, she's really like feeling herself, and I can just feel like she's a lot more like natural in her skin and in herself and in her character, and it just feels really, really good. She's really blossoming now. So yay, Thunder. So I reckon like just like how it worked out with well, it hasn't worked out yet, but just how it will work out with Hangman and Page, who also like just ended up having a lackluster world championship run. I feel like both of their second runs are going to be like oodles better when the time comes. It's going to be a lot better. I definitely think another title run is in Thunder Rosa's future, the world title run, definitely. And when we get these tag fucking belts, Tony Khan, there are a lot of Tonys in wrestling. Oh yeah, I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Not that I was prepared to, but still, there are a lot of Tonys in like the top area of AEW. Tag teams, titles. Gimme! Thunder tries to slow Chris down with an armbar submission, but Chris can still use her powerful legs, and she gets up from the mat and pushes Thunder to the corner, where Rosa receives a sharp chop to the chest. Ooh! Thunder tries to gain some distance between her and Stat, but Stat isn't cooperating and keeps sprinting back at Thunder, using her strength to knock Thunder down to the mat. Oh, I felt so bad for her. She's not like a little weakling, but like Statlander has this like ability to like fling people around. Like there are some like Megan Bain does, right? And no matter who they are, they can just make you look like a fucking a little rag doll. Stat can't help but gloat, and she poses for our world champion, who appreciates the view from ringside. Thunder Rosa is not out of harm's way yet, and she would eat a back elbow body slam from Chris. But as she came back in for another attack, Thunder Rosa instantly stops her with a stiff roundhouse kick to the side of her head with a "Feel the thunder, baby!" Thunder has this new hand signal that she uses, and it forms a lightning bolt. I'm not going to do it for you on camera now because I can't quite remember how it goes, and the audio people wouldn't be able to see it anyway. But imagine your fingers doing some sort of thunder bolt, and it may or may not be the same thing. So anyway, and with that, she races towards Chris, who is lounging on the bottom rope, but she misses the kick. Stat has seen it coming, and she rolls out of the way and avoids the move. Phew! Thunder is down in the ring. Statlander goes to deliver a springboard elbow drop from the apron to Thunder inside. But as she comes over the top rope, it's now Thunder who rolls out of the way, and Statlander crashes to the mat, landing hard on her hip and elbow. Again, she rests against the bottom rope, and Thunder takes another chance. Thunder races at Statlander, but without the whole flilly-flary of the feel the thunder and the whoop-whoop. Thunder races back at Statlander with even more fury, and this time she lands the missile dropkick square in Stat's face, almost decapitating her. Oh my goodness, the Stat fans would have died. We would have need some sort of moment in memoriam. Whew, but thank goodness it didn't. This brings a big happy smile to Rosa's face as Statlander tries to regain herself on the floor. She's very happy with herself. But Thunder launches herself back again with a flying Bronco Buster looking movie kind of thing. Basically, it's a flying puss to the face, so to speak. Rosa gets up with a battle cry as the crowd cheers and our world champion lays on the compliments, this time now to Thunder. Thunder Rosa gets Chris Statlander back into the ring and pins her. Statlander is able to kick out at 2 though, so not quite yet. All right, now these two wrestlers start slugging it out, both already feeling some fatigue from the match's very intense beginning. Like we were bam, right into it from the word go. Chris lays Thunder out with a DDT, and Thunder slowly rolls herself out of the ring and onto the floor. Statlander poses again while the crowd start dual chanting for the women, which I like. Thunder is still on the floor while Statlander goes to lay some more punishment into her with some stinging chops to Thunder's chest that awoke her dead ancestors in the Tijuana graveyard, I swear. Chris takes Thunder by the head and they go walkies around the ring. Stat stops to slam Rosa's face into the side of the ring and then gives her a not so dead rising chop this time. That one just pissed Rosa off and she turns the table on Statlander, delivering to her own chest a chop of Thunder's own. Thunder takes hold of Stat's hair and rolls into the ring to break the ref's count, and then brings our world champion a gift ringside, a spicy little double titty slap to Stat's chest that takes all the air out of her. Thunder then goes to Timeless, who appreciates the show, and she gives her a nice warm hug, and then she just can't help herself by saying that she loves her, but she's coming for her title. Rosa is very focused on becoming champ. I'm trying to get this through your head because she's really trying to get it through our heads, and she doesn't quite realize that, yes, Thunder, we understand. Will it turn into an obsession? Will the obsession grow dark? I don't know, but I'm here for whatever happens. The two wrestlers continue to brawl on the floor while the ref threatens them with his 10 count, and the crowd chant Thunder Tits to the joy of everybody. Thunder gets a knee strike into a down Statlander, and Chris is hurting real bad by now. Thunder rolls Statlander into the ring, but she gets rolled up for a cheeky little pin by Stat before she can capitalize. Thunder kicks out at 2, but Stat is pumped back up and lays in more hard shots to Rosa's bod. Going in for another pin after giving Thunder Rosa a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, Thunder still kicks out at 2. Stat works on draining Thunder's stamina, because this is the only way she's going to get her down, and gets her in a rear naked choke. Timeless calls the entire women's roster a bunch of slop tarts, which in our world champion's opinion is probably complimentary despite the Urban Dictionary's very unflattering description of the term. Chris gets Thunder down and lands a standing pop-up elbow drop to her. But then she lands far too casually over her torso for the pin. No matter how confident Stat thought she was with that, there was no way Thunder was going to stay down with such a lax pin, and she kicks out at 2. Rosa, though, cannot fight off Statlander's flurry of offense, and she finds herself being flung from one corner to another with immense force while Taz sings the Bee Gees. I don't know why. After the second rough whip into the corner, Thunder tries to fight back, but finds herself face down on the mat with Chris on top of her trying to choke her out for another time. I mean, it's a good fucking... Thunder tries to alligator roll out of the choke, which is a fair plan, but she is unable to and gets a few kneeses to the faces from Chris Statlander. Rosa tries again though, but is unable to break Stat's grip. Statlander pounds down on Rosa's back while we pan around the Owen Hart Cup. Stat goes to the ropes, but a hurting Thunder meets her there, pulls her legs from underneath her, pancaking Stat down to the mat face first. Rosa feeds off the crowd who are giving everything to her, and she starts laying in forearms. And equally hurting Stat right now is really regretting her decisions. A message to the kids at home from our world champion completely destroys the life left in the announce team and probably everyone backstage as they all corpse on live television to the amusement of yours truly. Thunder runs at Stat and takes her out with a rope-assisted spinning head scissors takeover. Yeah! Thunder gets Stat to the mat with a beautiful Northern Light suplex, and she holds her down for the pin. No dice as Stat kicks out at 2, but she's not out of danger because Rosa pounces on her and puts Stat in a cobra clutch, a submission that uses the opponent's own arms against them. Chris eventually shifts her weight, gets Thunder onto her back like a backpack, and she runs backwards into the corner turnbuckle, and that completely breaks Rosa's chokehold. Brilliant thing to do if you're strong enough. A swift kick and an incoming Stat, though, gives Thunder some room, and she flies at Stat for a Cazadora, which is a great transitioning move. But before she can finish her plan, Statlander turns it into a beautiful blue Thunder Bomb. Woo! She pins down Thunder's shoulders, yet Rosa still kicks out. After 2, Chris is stunned, but I am not. She is stunned again when Rosa connects a boot to her face and then puts her in a position for the Tijuana Bomb. Stat, though, gets her wits and drops to the knee, blocking the move. Thunder tries hard, but she soon finds herself on Stat's shoulders. Some quick thinking gets Thunder out of that danger, though, and she undrags Statlander down to the mat. Very impressed. The two wrestlers tussle until Thunder gets Stat in position for the Tijuana Bomb again. This time, Statlander lifts Thunder over her head, though. Thunder keeps her arms locked around Chris, and she turns it into a sunset flip pile driver. Woo! That was a brilliant counter. Thunder Rosa fairly goes for a pin. But our dear Chris Statlander, is not out, and she kicks out at 2. Thunder is now the one who is shocked and also very frustrated. Stat is hurt. Feeling the thunder, Rosa hits the ropes, smashes Chris in the face with a running knee. Smartly, Thunder goes for another pin, but Chris still has her wits about her, and she kicks out at 2. Even more frustrated now, Rosa screams at a kneeling Stat, "This is nothing personal," and slaps her face off, runs to the ropes, but that slap has activated Chris, and Rosa runs full force into a feisty lariat. Thunder is dazed as Stat flips her upside down and brings her crashing down onto the top of her head for Stat's finishing move, the Saturday Night Fever. That will be 3. Chris is now on to the semifinals, but will she be facing either Hayter or Starks? While Statlander gets her hand raised in victory, our world champion gets on top of the announce desk and gives her, and I'm sure Thunder as well, a standing ovation. We get a bow and a kiss blown from Stat to Timeless, and the fandom goes wild. Thunder is stirring, and Stat goes to help out her friend. Statlander poses in the ring, and we fade out. Thank you, Thunder. You did a very, very good job. And go on. I'm not quite too sure where Thunder's going to go from here. She is still rocking the baby faceness, and I think a heel turn wouldn't be great for where she's kind of going right now. I hope she doesn't get defeated in herself for not moving on, because I mean, you know, she's like a veteran, but Chris is tough. She's a tough component. Well, she's a tough component on her fight to the World Championship. So unfortunately, there is no Owen Cup tournament victory in our dear Thunder Rosa's future, but we'll see what happens. That was Dynamite, people. Did you enjoy it? Let me know. Are you ready for Ring of Honor now? Let's go! We have a problem, and it is by the name of Marina Shafir. But first off, she is not in action, but she accompanies her husband, Johnny TV, to the ring, who is in a 6-man match with MXM. And that person is our wonderful Taya Valkyrie. Taya is gorgeous and black and thigh-high, white boots. Her yellow hair is like, it shouldn't, but it looks amazing. Taya's jacket is black with like one arm white. It's that perfect, like no one else would wear that, but it's amazing on a wrestler kind of thing. The match is hilarious. Mansoor and Mason are amazing. Madden is fine as fuck, but we're moving on from that. They win their match, pull off the best pin I have ever seen this year. Oh my god, like if you just go and watch the match, it's fun. But the pin is gorgeous. It's a great opening match. The Death Riders theme hits, and Marina stalks out from wherever the Death Riders come from. It always seems to be a different base, but it's out the back somewhere. She's ready for violence in her green pants, black jacket, and her hood is up. Her opponent is... Oh, wait a minute. Who is this queen? Nixie XS? She's pale. She has colorful gear with gold as the main character running through it. She's looking great. She's got black sheer tights there, sparkly. Gold and white boots. Her hair is teased for the gods. Her contours are like an 80s goth. Who do we have here? All right, so here's what we know about Nix. Is it Nixie XS? I think it's Nixie XS. Did I say that right the first place? If we don't, it won't be the first time. She is also known as the Versace of Violence. I like that. She has won the WrestleMax women's title back in August of 2024. That was in a 6-way featuring Shazza McKenzie, Heather Monroe, and Blair Onyx, who we have seen on AEW television AEW television. She lost it though to a count out to Kaya McKenna a month later. That seems pretty shit. Losing your title to a count out? Didn't think that could happen, but hey, wrestling rules are different everywhere. She is from St. Louis, Missouri. She is 5'7". Her entrance music is a bop by called Bossy by a Bear, Baer, and King 80. I actually did some schlooping for that because fucking bop. Anyway, carrying on. It also appears that she has obtained the Memphis wrestling title currently by illegal yoinkage, and I am a fan of illegal yoinkage by heels of titles. It's one of my favorite things. Sidebar, slowly just came to me. Not probably like everyone's like cup of tea, but back when I was watching WWE, I was actually a big fan of all I can remember is the Bollywood Boys because I love them. Who the fuck was that guy? Tall guy, Mahal something. You know who I'm talking about. Remember when he fucking yoinked the championship and then like sped away in his limousine and he was like up through the, what do you think was it, sunroof, and he's like, ah, fuck, had me in stitches. I love me a good fucking heel running off with the title. Brilliant. Moving on. Let's see how she handles the problem, since she seems to be a little bit of a heel herself. Well, Nixie, I gotta remember to say that. Nixie shows no fear and sticks her hand out for a firm handshake of honor, as is tradition. Marina, does her thing, but she does not let go of Nixie's hand afterwards, and she quickly toe trips her. Marina then judos the living fuck out of Excess, never letting go of her wrist until she picks her up to dump her body onto the mat. Nixie retreats to the somewhat safety of the ropes, but finds herself in the corner and on the receiving end of a sharp chop to the chest from the problem Marina Shafir that made me feel uncomfortable. After being flung to the other corner, Nixie crashes to the mat. Nixie claws herself to her feet and stands face to face with Marina in the middle of the ring. Gotta give it to her. She's like fucking got that, lack of a better term, moxie. With Marina staring her down, unmoving, Nixie lays in multiple stiff forearm shots to Shafir, which probably would have laid out any other woman, but not Marina. She doesn't budge until Marina decides that she wants to stop this, and she just pump kicks the fight right out of Nixie. Marina pretzels her up and brings her to the mat for her brutal submission, Mother's Milk, a jiu-jitsu submission, which is basically smothering the person to death with your boobies. Nixie instantly taps out, but Marina, the sadist, keeps it on for an uncomfortable amount of time until she decides to let the hold go. But that's only because she wants to go and intimidate the ref. The Death Riders music plays while Marina glares at absolutely everybody. It was not a squash. Nixie did well. She kept on in there, kept on getting in there. But, Marina, ow. After some other stuff, we get a promo from Taya Valkyrie. She's back, and she's even more boobalicious than she was before. She is in silver with long black PVC-esque type gloves. She wants the Ring of Honor television title, but to get it from Red Velvet, who is still the current champ, she first has to beat La Catalina. This match will be next week. I wonder if Catalina beats Taya, if she will then be able to face Red Velvet. That, my dears, is for Ring of Honor next week. So we will find out the answer to all of those questions. Well, that was our Ring of Honor this week. Better than last week's, since last week had none. But as we all know, we don't need any more content for that one. But what did you think? I thought it was great. I always love seeing more indie wrestlers come, even if they are being murdered by the problem Marina Shafir. Bravo. Hope they got good money. Right. Are you ready for Collision? Wow! I'm going to sit down and watch some wrestling. My time is fought and happy there. Saturday nights and Bane are fighting Athena, Willow, and Queen Aminata for both Monet. Anyway, we are in Springfield, Massachusetts. It went great. Not being rude, but after Baltimore, woo! You guys are about a 7, but like Baltimore is at like about 100. You guys are about a 7 and it shows. But never mind, we're not going to sass on the crowd because fair enough. Well, anyway, after Nigel McGuinness saves the life of our dear Tony Schiavone from certain death, we get graced by an amazing timeless Tony Storm, our world champion, as she gives us a remarkable promo. I mean, when did she not? Luther stands behind her proudly with the world championship displayed lovingly in his arms. Behind the whore we all adore. The timeless one is still in her perfect glam from Dynamite. She gives us her A+ top tier Ichiban to Meki promo, making hilarious but delivered real straight quips on each of the wrestlers who are left in the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. Everyone gets some stern words from the champion, apart from Statlander, who just gets a whoof, what a woman, and then moves on. I often say this, but as of recording of this episode, this is my current favorite funny promo from Timeless Tony Storm. My favorite current passionate one is the big one when she reveals that she was still timeless all along. I was really emotional that day, but I for real bawled my eyes out with that. I was like, oh my God, it's just all so amazing. It was brilliant. Unfortunately, big emotions make me weep from the eyeballs uncontrollably. It's sometimes annoying, it's sometimes embarrassing, but hey, what the fuck? Ready? Are you ready? It's time for Jamie Hayter. She's facing Billy Starks. Hayter's going to kill you. Sorry, Starks, but let's be real for a second now. You're good, but not enough to beat this bad bitch. I got really into the songs this week. In case I forgot to mention, it's Jamie Hayter's music, and she is the first to come out for this first round of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Confident Jamie is in gorgeous orange, while Nigel continues to scold Tony on commentary. Jamie basks in the glory of her fans. The mid-2000s is suddenly here, and that can only mean one thing. Billy Starks is coming to the ring. No relation, by the way. She is in red and black battle gear tonight. Billy is also full of confidence, and fair enough. She's faced tough opponents before, but looking at Hayter, I'm getting some fucking predator prey vibes going on here. We'll see what happens. The match starts off strong, both wrestlers feeling each other out until Hayter scares the living shit out of Billy as she comes fast off the ropes with an incredible incoming lariat. Stark sees it coming, and just in the nick of time, she retreats backwards to the ropes like, fuck! Hayter absolutely loved seeing that, and she kisses her beautiful bicep in appreciation. Billy seems mad at herself, but she gets up and manages to trick Hayter into shaking her hand. Jamie is then whipped into the ropes, and the two women go at it until Hayter runs full force into a beautiful spinning back kick from Starks. Now Billy is happy again. Hayter rolls under the ropes to the I almost did it again. We got to be careful of that little slip up. I'm not gonna be doing that. She rolls to the apron, holding her jaw. Hayter and Starks duke it out over the ropes until Starks kicks Hayter's feet out from underneath her and gives Jamie a kick to the side of the head through the ropes. Ooh, Hayter has a very tough head, and just because she may look shooketh at the moment doth not mean that she is. Billy thought she was, and found out the hard way that she wasn't by diving through the ropes and being sucked in the face with a stiff forearm from Jamie Hayter. After adjusting herself, Hayter grabs Billy by the hair, missiles her limp body straight into the barriers ringside. Billy tries to shake it off, but soon finds herself being dragged towards the other barrier that's protecting the timekeeper in the dock area. It's a very dangerous part of the outside area. People can either like come in from there, or you can get whacked into there. To try and stop whatever pain was coming her way, Billy puts her arms out and uses the barrier to hoist her legs up onto Jamie's shoulders. Not quite too sure what she was going to do, but it was an attempt. Hader takes just one moment and then lifts Stark's legs off of her and just catapults Billy Starks over the timekeeper's desk and just into oblivion. After breaking the 10 count, Hater goes to retrieve Billy, but gets her head slammed into the barricade for her troubles. It seems that Billy has been able to shake off whatever was fucking messing her up before. Jamie tries to get herself together in table pose, but instead becomes the landing pad for a senton atomico from Starks. This is one of her favorite moves, by the way, and she does it really brilliantly. It's very high powered. Billy rolls Hader back into the ring for the pin, but instead Jamie kicks out at 2 and they start fighting it out again. Billy Starks yells out, "Grit your teeth," which I thought was spoken for by people that we haven't seen in a while, but never mind, and nails Hader in her beautiful face with a knee. Jamie Hader wiggles out of Billy's grasp and counters her back elbow with a whip to the corner. As Billy bounces back, she is sent to the land of pain via Jamie Hader and her beautiful spine buster. A sexy pin for 3, but no, it is a 2. Billy is still in this thing. A cheeky little smile, and Jamie walks over to Starks to casually choke her with her knee. The ref is counting to 3, looking directly at her, but Jamie knows how to exploit it and returns to choking Billy with her knee after letting go. Starks only has a few moments to recover from this before Hader is grabbing her by the hair. Billy fights back, but gets a significant amount of health taken off her by a short and stiff lariat from Hader. Billy rolls out of the ring onto the floor for a mini recuperating moi. After taking the piss out of Billy for a brief moment, Jamie goes to the outside to graciously help Billy Starks back into the ring, pausing only briefly to smash her face into the side of the ring. Rude. Hader, now feeling bad for interrupting Billy's snooze, puts her in a tight chokehold. Billy, though, is not in the mood to sleep anymore and rises to her feet and starts elbowing Hader in her gut. This was not the best plan, though, because soon Billy will be in Hader's control again. And this time, Jamie decides to use Billy's head to test out the turnbuckle sturdiness 20 times. We know this because the crowd counted along. The Count from the Muppets would love wrestling. I'm surprised I actually haven't seen. There's probably some sign with like the Count in it. There's got to be. Oh, never mind. We get a nice close-up of Billy's eyes rolling around in her head before she is whipped into the corner by Hader and given a sweet and spicy chop to the chest that made the entire arena and everyone who was watching it wince in pain. Billy's like, you know what? I think I'm just going to collapse here in the corner for a while. And that suits Hader very much because she shoves her boot down onto Stark's chest, squishing her into the bottom turnbuckle. Billy has another little flurry of offense, but gets her leg caught by Hader. Hader then just sits down on Billy's back and wrenches on her leg. Billy is able to still come up with a very smart plan through the pain she must be feeling and eventually manages to topple Hader off balance, and she goes head first into the corner turnbuckle, instantly breaking the submission. Even though it looks like Billy is lame on one leg, she quickly puts that pain on the back burner, and Hader finds herself in a whirlwind of trouble this time, being bashed around by Billy's limbs as if she were the lounge floor's rug on wash day. Starks surprises everybody by getting Hader off her feet and crashes to the mat with a German suplex. Billy plants her on the mat and the crowd wake up as it looks like this might be a 3. But Hader powers out at 2. Billy takes a moment to internally vent and then goes back on the attack. It seems like Massachusetts are quite behind our dear Starks. She tries to hoist Hader up, but Jamie knees her on the top of the head. It works really well, and she comes crashing down. A few more knees to Billy, and Hader goes for the ripcord lariat, but it's avoided by Starks, who quickly takes advantage of the situation and slams Hader to the mat with a gorgeous snapdragon suplex. Add that one to my fantasy moves set. Yes, definitely. That and the swing blade. Love it. Without letting her go, Billy stretches Hader out on a surfboard on the bottom, a weird chin lock on the top kind of submission. Look nasty. Eventually, Hader powers out of it with a snapmare, which was very smart, and then she lands a running knee to the side of Billy's face and goes for the pin. Billy, still in it though. She's young and she's full of vigor, and she kicks out at 2. But Hader's back on her. Before Starks can think, she's up on Hader's shoulders, and Jamie brings Billy's neck crashing down onto her knee for a brutal ushigoroshi. Jamie connects with Billy's head via a sliding lariat and pins her again. That almost didn't come out of my mouth. Where was that going? That was rolling around like I had some sort of whiskey. Billy proves her toughness by kicking out again at 2, though. She is rewarded by taking multiple unanswered forearm shots from Hader, and she eventually collapsed to the mat. Jamie Hader tries again to end Billy Starks, but she hits the boost button, she being Starks, and counters the move with a cheeky little backslide into a pin. When that didn't work, Billy used strength from fucking somewhere to lift Hader up for a twisting net breaker. This might be it, folks. Once again, Starks might just win this thing. It's a lax as fuck cover, though, and that messes Billy up, and Hader easily powers out at 2. Woman, bad. Hader isn't getting off the mat, though, and Billy does take this opportunity to hit her with one more power move, and she heads to the top rope. She's successful at nailing Hader with her Senton Atomico, which I told you was very, very highly powered. And this was another real close one, but Hader still manages to kick out at 2.99 this time, but still kicks out. Hader drags herself to the ropes and gets up. Billy comes after her, and both women are now on the apron. Why? Why, Bex? Why today does every time you want to say on the apron, we have a moment of, okay, coming back. Billy gets sassy with some fans, before laying a stiff forearm to Jamie's jaw. Both wrestlers try to murder each other now with power moves, but everything comes to a halt once Hader connects with a headbutt, and Billy is out on her feet. Hader's got a very tough head. That was the sound of me. You probably can't hear them, but stop whacking your own head. And then Hader did something to Billy that made everything in the world around me stop. I shit you not. I honestly don't know how this is for realsies right here. I honestly don't know how these people can do this and not legit fucking die. But holy flying fraggles, yo. Hader gave Billy Starks a sheer drop brain buster that went from the apron crashing down to the floor below. Now, let's build that in our minds, shall we? Come with me. The ring is roughly 1.20 meters or 3 to 4 feet off the ground. Jamie Hader is 1 meter 73 centimeters or 5'8". Billy is upside down on Hader's shoulders, so let's take away about 30 centimeters or a footish to account for the overlap. So what's that? 2 meters 63 centimeters or something. That's about 8 feet in the air, and she lands flat on her back. Hader's going to take like a 4-foot bump herself, but damn! No, thank you. The chant very fairly of "this is awesome" finally gets legs as the two wrestlers are still on the ground in what can only be a mountain of pain. The ref is counting them out. He gets to 9 and both women burst into the ring to make the count. Both, I'm sure, wishing that the other hadn't made it. It turns into a slugfest now in the middle of the ring. Hader switches us up, switches it up with a thrust kick that takes Billy by surprise, and it's quickly followed up by a step up enziguri. Billy, groggy, tries to block the move, but Hater adjusts and smashes Billy back down onto her knee for the Haterade. Locking Billy's arms in place, Hater winds up the lariat, slams her to the mat with the Hater. Oh, I'm sorry. That was meant to be Hate Breaker. Now it's the Haterade. Man, don't you hate it when you fuck it up, especially when you got it written right in front of you? Anyway, we're moving on. We're not going back. Right into it. 1, 2, 3. Jamie Hayter wins, and she is on to the second round of the Owen Hart Cup and will face Chris Statlander for the battle of Juicy Muscle Women, with only one of them going on to the finals. 1 second. Where it is going to go down here? Wait with me one moment. This guy is here. He's in the way. He's saying hello. His name is Smoggy. He wants to be on the little show now. All right, bye, baby. So that's what's been distracting me. The guy is wanting to be a star. Hater's up, and she takes her victory bow, but she is visibly having issues with her lower back, and I hope it won't hinder her too much in the semi-finals. Now that we know who she's facing. The Death Riders cut a promo next, which means we get Marina in her white tank top, death staring into our inner being for 2 minutes. Mox makes a dig at podcast champions, which makes me giggle because one comes to mind and anyway, and fucking Yuta thinks he's hard with that forehead scar. So yeah, my boy Puck is legit injured, so Marina gets more gold to carry, and at least we get to see this one for now, unless that one's going to bloody end up in its own briefcase. After all that fiasco, Bane's music hits, and out comes the super bad girl. As we swoop over the ring, we spy 2 wrestlers in the corner. One of them is bouncing up and down very nervously, and that's fair enough. It is then confirmed by Akari Ora. Hey, I was really worried I was going to fuck that up. That we will indeed be having Bane on too this evening. Simmer down, folks. My girl Ford is in a dark purple bustier. My new word, with gold leaf around the cleavage. She is rocking her black street battle pants, and she sasses herself down to the ring. Megan is killing me in her deep burgundy and gold battle gear. It looks so good on her. Bane is always put together magnificently. After my second favorite entrance is completed and I shake myself back into focus, we find out who these 2 lucky competitors are. Lucky, she says in air quotes. LMK, in case I didn't quite say that right, lights up like a Christmas tree when she hears her name announced, which is quite sweet. And Kelly Madden seems rather confident, which is good because she will be the first one who faces Bane. Kelly Madden is from Jersey. I don't know why I said it like that. And has fought in AEW 3 times before. What's with these accents? And she is gorgeous in purple and black. Ellen Kay is bright in pink and blue. She was in a tag match against Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May over a year ago when Rampage was still a thing. And she was on Dark a few times. Little Mean Kathleen is, I love that name, is from Taunton, Massachusetts. Why can't I say Massachusetts without doing this with my lips? Anyway, the bell rings and Megan flicks out her mane of hydrated, crimpled hair. Kelly's body is beaten to biscuit crumbs by the Megasis, and her head almost gets knocked off by a dropkick. Megan drags her body to the corner, and a very brave LMK tags in. I'm sorry, Megan didn't drag her body. Medan dragged her own body to her corner, and the brave LMK tags in. Megan Megan walks up on LMK, who is threatening to fly at her from the top rope, yelling at her, "Come on!" Told you this LMK was brave. And she goes, "Okay," and she just launches her body at the Megasis. A flying crossbody, though, gets caught by Bane, of course, and then she is sent on her way by being flung over the Megasis's head. LMK hits the mat and then instantly retreats to the corner. Fair. The Megacyst smushes them both individually and then together, picking up LMK and hoisting her to her shoulders. She then takes out Kelly Madden with a lariat. She's like the mother you see at the supermarket that has like the screaming toddler under one arm, the baby on her hip in the other, and somehow she's still carrying an entire month's worth of fucking shopping. Hoi, oi. LMK comes down hard on Megan's knee. Megan's knee? Megasis's knee. And as her two opponents writhe in pain, Bane circles them out, arms outstretched in pride as the crowd goes bananas. As my brain needs a reboot. What is going on? Blah, blah. Okay. It's this whole Megan, Medan thing. I got myself all kerfuffled, but we're here. Megan picks up Medan and drops her down onto LMK, who is still writhing on the ground with a fate's descent. Bane pins them both, and she gets the 1, 2, 3. Penelope, happy. Of course she's happy. The crowd, happy. Me, happy. It's all sweet as the Megasis poses in victory with the limp bodies of her opponents. With a bow down, she slams their heads back into the mat and kicks the invisible dust over their bodies. Quick little sidebar, the gates of agony are back, and that makes me extremely happy for future violence reasons. Yay! So Miss Bane is back. She is squashing bitches as we expected. We definitely expected. I like the 2-on-1 squishity doodads. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's just a little bit more entertaining in this kind of way. I mean, you know me, I don't like a boring squash match. You got to give me some sort of storytelling if you're going to squish someone. And there's storytelling, I think. Fuck, that was confident, wasn't it? I only said a thing because I was like, don't ask me to fucking explain it now because I can't quite remember. But carrying on. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it. More Bane all the time. We'll see, yeah, if she is coming back on the championship run again. But I have a feeling she might just be having lots of fun kind of destroying everyone at the moment, which is fair. You know, you don't need any commitments. You don't need any pressures. You just want to, you know, calmly murder people for the fun of it. I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I get it. Athena is here, people! Holy flying fraggles, our forever champ, the fallen goddess, the Ring of Honor world champion is finally here for a match. She is wearing the spinning and non-spinning belts, and she comes to the ring in her traditional champion way. She's just full of animation. She's full of confidence. I love her. Athena is gorgeous. Oh, and her outfit rocks. She is wearing a multicolored vest and pink, purple battle gear, all strappy and sparkly, and it's amazing. She is in her first round of the Owen Cup tournament against Feel the Wrath! It's Harley. And she matches the champion with holographic battle gear. This pleases me very sensorily. Harley is wearing her pink heart jacket. And I gotta say, as a jacket-obsessed woman as I am, I'm not a fan of the pink heart jacket. It all starts off lighthearted between the two, each feeling each other out. Athena ramps it up by powering Cameron into the corner and then pushes her around a bit before playfully patting Harley on the head because she's a little shit. While Athena asks the crowd what on earth she could have done to deserve such boos as they're laying them upon her, Harley, miffed, puts Athena in a headlock and they get into it again. After a cheeky toe trip, Harley gets payback and pats the sitting goddess on the head. Now, Harley's face was that of unimpressedness when Athena did it to her, but Athena had the look of pure violence when the same was done to her. So she can deal it, but she can't take it. A flurry of gorgeous cradles from both wrestlers gives us multiple close calls on the pin. Athena is impressed with Harley's new skills. The fallen goddess is fabulous at working the crowd, no matter what the size. She panders for a moment and gets them to clap for our, realistically, MVP, Harley Cameron. The rascal of that champ, though, she was just tricking, and she grabs Harley's pretty little head and starts squeezing on it with a side headlock. Leveled up Harley, though, wiggles out of it and now has Athena in a side headlock of her own. Athena gets out and Harley does an excellent job of evading her. Getting out on the apron, Harley kicks Athena in the head, then pulls her through the rope so Harley can choke Athena with her thighs. The entanglement in the ropes, that is a no-no. So she only has until 3. But that sometimes can be plenty of time for an opponent to be weakened enough for a defeat. It's a good move, Harles. Keep going. Athena stumbles through the ropes to the apron for clarity, but gets Harley instead, who wants to suplex Athena onto the what is that? What is that? What is that? Athena stumbles through the ropes to the apron. Oh, okay. Sorry. I messed up some words. That's not helpful. Yeah, okay, cool. I've worked it. Sorry, I'm back. So I'm starting again from the Athena stumbles through the ropes. For clarity. Okay. Athena stumbles through the ropes to the apron for clarity, but gets yoinked by Harley instead, who wants to put her into a suplex. Now that can't be happening, and our smart forever champ runs forward with Cameron still attached and ducks under the turnbuckle with ease because of her height, while Harley goes face first into the top turnbuckle. Athena takes advantage of a groggy Aussie and picks her up for a painful side slam onto the apron. That's not the end of her journey, though, as the Ring of Honor champion turns her over and suplexes Cameron to the floor with an almighty thud. Athena releases some tension in her neck and then decides to continue hurting Harley. She stomps on her, slams her into the steel stairs, stops to break the count, then goes back to forearm shots to the spine. When Harley dares to fight back, the forever champ just lays into her more. This time, our ROH World Champion uses Harley to break the count, and the two both get back into the ring. Harley tests her luck then with a quick little cheeky roll-up, but Athena kicks out at 2. Harley gets a kick to the face for the audacity. Athena stalks a hurting Cameron and gives her 2 rough knees to the ribs. Harley is now in the corner and she gets more punishment in the ribs from Athena's short shoulder tackles. Athena continues to stalk, then punish Harley. A beautiful suplex from Athena, followed by repeatedly slamming Harley's face into the mat, makes her confident to go in for another pin. But it's denied satisfaction from Harley, who kicks out at 2. Athena will have that satisfaction, though, god damn it, and she puts Harley in a painful bow and arrow submission. Harley manages to break free from the choke so she could do some flippy shit and landed down on Athena for a pin. Imagine if that was a 3. Whew, that would have blown you, but it wasn't. And she kicked out at 2. Harley's back on the ball, and the 2 wrestlers begin to dance violently again. Cameron gets the champ on her butt with a Russian leg sweep, but that just pisses her off. And Athena landed 3 brutal kicks to Cameron, then pins her down with rage. Unfortunately for Harley, though, the rage is here to stay. She kicks out at 2. An absolutely seething Athena gets up off the mat and hangs Cameron upside down on the turnbuckles for a tree of woe. But she does something different. Athena holds her up and she starts kicking Harley in her back. Woo-hoo-hoo. This makes her a lot happier now, and Athena celebrates in the ring before running in for a drop kick. But she only finds the turnbuckles because Harley has avoided contact via core strength. Harley bonks the fallen goddess on the noggin and then twists her around and slams her back down to the mat. A running lariat, then a step-up enziguri from Harley has the champ in trouble. Athena gets hung out to dry on the middle rope and gets the stuffing pounded out of her. Then Cameron brings back her foot hard down on Athena's back. Athena rolls to the perceived safety of the ring as Harley yells, "Feel the wrath!" Flying off the top rope, Harley lands the crossbody. Because it's not actually a finishing move that she's doing, because she normally does that. But Athena catches Cameron as she lands, rolls through, then deadlifts Cameron up onto her shoulders as Athena gets to her feet. The strength of Athena astonishes me every single time. I can't get over it. The quick thinking from Harley, though, turns this into a Hurricane Runner, and the Forever Champ tumbles to the floor. Harley gets a stiff thrust kick, though, to the gut from Athena, but she manages to give Athena a boot of her own. Athena tries a springboard cross body, but a pump handle suplex from Harley brings Athena crashing down to the mat. Woo! Cameron goes for the pin, but it's just a 2. The fans show their appreciation with "This is awesome" chant. Thank you, Massachusetts. Well done. Well. Harley goes for her finishing move, but Athena cartwheels out of it, yoinks Cameron off her feet. But just when you think the last nail in Harley's coffin has been hammered in, Cameron wiggles out of danger, takes down Athena with another head scissors takeover, and does a cheeky little roll up for the pin. The ROH World Champion isn't the Forever Champ for nothing, though, and she powers out of the pin at 2. Still dizzy, Athena finds her arm is in control by Harley, and she looks confused by this for a second before Harley boots her in the face with soul food. Harley does the right thing and quickly goes back on the attack, but Athena is so strong. The fallen goddess deadlifts Cameron up once again and slams her down to the mat successfully this time. Athena then does something I have literally never seen before. Harley is positioned like she's about to be powerbombed, but Athena reaches between her and grabs Harley's left leg with her own right arm. So when she lifts up Harley, her body twists and she comes crashing down on Athena's knee for a very creative neck breaker. Harley is on her feet, but she is very, very wobbly. She can't find Athena at all, and that is because Athena has made her way to the top rope. Athena flies at her and she lands the perfect O-face on Harley. With a "stop looking at me like that" stare down the camera, the ref counts to 3 and we hear the guitars fill the arena. Athena has won the match. So that means, boys and girls, sickos, theydies and theydems, Athena versus Mercedes will be happening at the semi-finals. Let's, as they say, fucking go. This is happening last week, and that will be at Spring Breakthrough, which is in Boston, the hometown of Monet. So Collision, like I said before, Collision is airing the next day. So I do wonder if Boston's going to get itself a little mini pay-per-view event. I bet the crowd is going to be absolutely fire for these 2 matches, and why wouldn't they? I So going back to what I slightly mentioned before, I know it's silly, but I am genuinely excited about this milestone in AEW's journey purely because a lot of very loud people were scoffing about its inevitable demise from like day one. I'm happy for everybody involved, the shows, all the departments, the talent, to ring and set designers, the production, the payroll, because you all work so hard and it shows, and it gives us fans an amazing show each week. And I am so very grateful to have AEW in my life so I can share it with others. So I absolutely just am so excited about Spring Breakthrough and what it means for AEW. What did I do? It will be now the longest running sports entertainment show on Turner Broadcasting ever. Hurrah! So, what does that mean? We beat fucking WCW. Okay? Take that, Bischoff. Here's my little, like, not so subtle dancing around the Discord. Ha! We won! We still live! International Sickos Day, 17th of April, wherever you are. Well, I think it's like 18th of April for like us to be like celebrating on like the same day. So like 18th, 17th. Woo! Well done, everybody. Bravo. All the fans, give yourself a round of applause. We didn't do jack shit. We just showed up and brought everything, but well done. Some of you were dicks, but that's fine. Well, it's not fine, but what the fuck am I going to do about it? You're just going to stay dicks. Sidebar. This show ends incredibly well. There's an incredible Owen Hart Cup tournament match between the Hounds of Hell's Brody King and the Don Callis families, Takeshita Konosuke. Only Flying Snapdragons, people. It is a brilliant match. So, like, just a little sidebar. Watch that. Definitely is so good. So those were our weekly shows building up to some stuff for Double or Nothing, I think, is coming up next in the pay-per-view land. But like I said, Spring Breakthrough, you're right, is turning out to be quite the event as well. So I'm excited for that. So happy 17th of April, sickos. Let's all celebrate. You can all hit us up on everything about it. We're going to be celebrating. It's going to be brilliant. Tag your fellow sickos. Woo! Here we go. So moving on with our discussions here, I will be taking you all back in time to the buy-in for the first ever All Out. Now, originally, I was, of course, going to do the entire pay-per-view, but the buy-in, because remember I said when we did the other first one that I forgot that there was a casino battle royale in that buy-in, and it was all women. So I made I made a brain fart, but remembered to check it out this time. And yes, there is a casino battle royale. So many women are involved, and to save on time, I'm just going to go through that this week. Next week, there are the two matches on the main card, and one of them is they're both basically for the title, because whoever wins between Hikaru Shida and Riho will be facing whoever wins this casino battle royale in that second match for the title, and then the first ever women's champion will be crowned. So we will go through that next week, but this week we are going to the buy-in. Oh yeah, it's buy-in, because we just want to make this all. I want to make this all like fit into a nice little consumable meal for everyone. Don't make it too long, too many courses. So the first ever All Out buy-in in AEW, and this is where I learned that Fighter Fest and Fight for the Fallen are not actually considered pay-per-views when I was looking back at them. So they belong in the wicked ass double amazing wicked weekly show category, not the pay-per-view category. We are in Illinois in a place called Hoffman Estates in Chicago. Like I said before, on the pay-per-view, Riho is facing Hikaru Shida, for who will be facing the winner of this one. As always, you can go check out this buy-in on YouTube for free. The buy-in opens up with Penelope Ford walking to the ring, all in green and filled with that Ford attitude I love. Behind her is Shazza McKenzie from Oz, dressed all in pink. Sadie Gibbs, Big Swole, Dr. Britt Baker, they're all coming down the ramp behind her. We have new wrestlers to go over. So we're going to get started on that right now. First one is Shazza McKenzie. She's from Sydney, Australia. She is 160 centimeters tall, which is 5'3". She is busting her butt around the world, hitting all the indies and having a couple of matches in WWE and in AEW. Shazza is an Aussian for names like Sharon, Chantel. So like Gary and Gavin and that kind of thing would be Gaza. Brian, Bob, and like stuff like that would be Bazza. You get the gist. Shaz's finishes are the Shaztastic Stunner, which is obviously a stunner, and her submission, which is the Shaz Mission, is a crossface chicken wing. Her entrance theme is Hardcore by Cameron Iron. Shazza has been champion in 9 different companies, including Shimmer. Her last match was her last matches in AEW were for the Winter is Coming Rampage and Collision shows in December 2024, so not that long ago. Sadie Gibbs is from Kent in England. She is 167 centimeters tall, which is 5'6". Her finisher is a moonsault. While she was with AEW, her theme was Undeniable by friend of the pod, Mikey Ruckus, and she has been DWA Ladies Champion. Due to COVID, though, she was released by AEW, and now Sadie Gibbs is retired. That damn COVID really fucked up a bunch of things. Big Swole is from Clearwater, Florida, and she left AEW in 2021, and unfortunately, it was not an amicable split at all, and that sucks ass. Really sucks ass. I thought, I think that Big Swole is a great wrestler. I was a big fan of hers. She had some cool rivalries while she was in AEW, and she's very, very strong. Her finisher is the Dirty Dancing, which is a ripcord discus, forearm smash, and the spear. Her theme was Swole World by Mikey Ruckus. I can't remember it right now, but I'm pretty sure it was a bop. Nyla Rose is already in the ring. She's wearing purple and white, and she's preparing herself for the incoming wrestlers. Penelope Ford is no coward. Oh, I forgot to mention Brandy Rose and Awesome Kong are here. They're just hanging in the back, not coming to the thing. And Penelope is the first to get into the ring via the top rope with something. I don't know. The camera cut away, so I have no idea what it was. I think it was a drop kick. No one else has entered the ring yet, and Penelope keeps taking down Nyla with her backhand spring into an elbow to the face. Big Swole then finally enters the ring, to Penelope's annoyance, and the two get at it till Ford gets knocked on her ass with a Dirty Dancing from Swole. Big Swole gets taken out by Shazza then with her Shaztastic Stunner. Shazza finishes the move in a split, and she poses all kawaii. This moment turned into one of the first memes of the AEW women's roster, because perfectly in shot, DMD knocks her block off with a kick to the head from like stage left. Brilliant. Shazza gets her revenge with some great kicks and knee strikes. She almost eliminates Dr. Britt Baker, but instead Shazza gets caught with a nerve lock, and the DMD drags her over the top rope by her jaw, and Shazza tumbles down to the floor, becoming the first elimination. Oh, poor Shaz. The difference between a casino battle royale is all the wrestlers, well, not all the wrestlers, but all the wrestlers are put in suits. So, and they're a group of suits, clubs, hearts, yada yada. One group will start the match in the ring, although at this point there was only a Nyla in the ring, and then everyone was walking towards. But normally everyone kind of like walks out to the ring at the same time, and then we all get started when everyone's in the ring. At certain intervals, like a Royal Rumble, the counter will go off, and instead of like single people coming out, the suit will come out. At the end, there is a Joker card, and that's usually like a big like woo, but they don't come out until everyone else is in the ring. Eliminations are the same, going over the top rope and both feet landing on the floor. Penelope and Big Swole are still on the mat. Nyla Rose is trying to eliminate Sadie Gibbs, but she's not having much success. Nyla comes back and chokeslams both Gibbs and DMD, bringing them crashing to the canvas. No one can get one up over Nyla like Penelope could right at first. She was kind of taken off guard, and now she's on her game. Big Swole steps up to Nyla, pumps herself up, then lays a barrage of heavy shots to Nyla. A headbutt from Swole almost takes them both out, but Swole sorts it out and takes Nyla down with a Cazadora turn facebuster. Swole attempts a dirty dancing on roll, but Nyla ducks it, gets her up in a fireman's carry. Swole is then thrown over the top rope, but she sticks that landing and she is still safe on the apron. Whew. Swole tries to come back in, but she is caught in a uranagi that plants Swole to the mat, and she rolls off the side of the floor onto the floor, and Big Swole is eliminated. The countdown for the next participant starts. Participant starts. Penelope Ford feels the pain in the ring as Nyla Rose is just throwing her around. Sadie and the DMD are still in it, but they are legally chilling on the outside. They've gone under the ring. You can do that, by the way. You can like take moments out and like just roll under the ring and just be like, I'm just going to stay here for a little while. It's a very well-known heel thing to do. Our unlikable Chris Jericho is very good at doing this. He's very good at hiding and then sneaking it. Anyway, moving on from him. Penelope gets thrown out over the top and is eliminated from the match. The next group to come out is Tenille Dashwood, Evilise, B. Priestley, and now Brandy Rose and Awesome Kong. Here I was giving her sass before, and they hadn't even come out yet. Look at me. Everyone gets in the ring apart from Brandy and Kong, who hang back on the entrance stage and just kind of watch. B. Priestley has no choice in where she goes because DMD races at her and knocks her down with a Luthez Prez and starts giving her the bash. Remember the last time we talked about them in that tag match? They got real heated with each other. Woohoo! It's still going. It's real shitty that like, once again, COVID came in and messed up with B's roster visa. I mean, obviously, because like a pandemic, but those two were really ramping up with a feud that could have gone somewhere cool. So let's run these down, eh? Tenille Dashwood, she is another Aussie. She's from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Her finishes are the Emma Lock. I don't know what she calls it now. Surely it's going to be called something else. Emma was her, obviously her name in WWE. It's an inverted Indian deathlock, face lock. An inverted Indian deathlock, face lock. And the spotlight, which is a low drop kick to any part of the body. She was the Impact Knockout World Tag Team Champion with Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne is now with AEW. She has for like a really, really long time. I think she was even there from like the beginning. I think she was doing like commentary shit. Yeah. So so like Madison Rayne's like a day one. She helps out with training and stuff, and she's been in like some few matches and stuff. Tenille has also 2 times won the Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling's Women's Supergirls Championship. Was that necessary? Evilise is from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I was such a fan of hers from like day one until she left. That was also under not the best circumstances. There was some unprofessional behavior that was on a taped show between her and Thunder Rosa, and the rumors, just rumors, that there was some like real life backstage beef. stuff going on, like some It tarnished her run. That shit on the tape show though was like the last straw, I think. Yeah, she was in a tag team with Diamante. They were great, as you could imagine. I mean, if you know Evilise, you can imagine. If you don't know, if you saw her, then you would imagine. She reminds me of kind of Lita in a way, but like Evilise has more kind of like street violence. I'm gonna stab you in the guts kind of vibe to her, which I never got from Lita. Bless her little heart. Evilise has been the Shine champion 4 times, and she is the 2-time Lucha Underground Trios champion with other AEW member Angelico and Son of Havoc. So that's cool. Moving on to B. Priestley, who we did see in episode 6, but I didn't expound on her. So here we go. Her finisher is flawless victory. Flawless victory. I can't do that. Diving double stomp and a Oh, and whoa, hang on. Hang on. Help is on its way. Sorry. What did I do? Her finisher is flawless victory, a diving double stomp, and fatality. Is it? Oh, okay. Cool. And with that whole fucking Mortal Kombat thing that made me all confused. It's like, why am I now talking about fatality? Okay, we are going to go back to B. Priestley. We saw first in episode 6. Coolie bullies. We're just going to do the Yeah, right. Let's go. B. Priestley, we first saw in episode 6, but I didn't expound. So here we go. Her finisher is flawless victory, which is a diving double stomp, and fatality, which is a double wrist lock. Her entrance theme in AEW was Top Gaijin by friend of the pod, Mikey Ruckus. Once we said visa issues made it so she couldn't continue with AEW crap. B. Priestley is half Kiwi, half Brit. She I don't know if she still does, but when she was in AEW, she was book coming from Wellington, New Zealand. She's like half Kiwi, half Brit. B's family moved to Wellington, Aotearoa, New Zealand from England when she was 10. So the first 10 years she was all England. But she was trained in New Zealand in a local place, NZ Wide Pro Wrestling. And she debuted, which is still going around today. They just split off. Now we've got like CP Dub, Capital Pro Wrestling, along with NZY Pro Wrestling. She debuted at 16. 4 years later, she was out of here. Fair enough. And she moved back to England to further her wrestling career. Absolutely fair enough. If you got the visa, fucking do it. B went to, the passport. B went to NXT as Blair Davenport, where she won the NXT Iron Survivor Challenge in 23, whatever that is. B has won the World of Stardom Championship, which is their big fucking champion, and Artist of Stardom Championship. She is also 2 times Goddess of Stardom champion, once with Hater and the other with Konami. Now, Brandy. We know Brandy. Awesome Kong, we know her. But I'm still going to look back at Kong in a future episode, of course, because then we can talk about her a little bit more extensively. Now, after all that, where the fuck are we? Yes, so B and the Good Doctor have some fisticuffs on the outside for a little while, and Brandy is still hanging on the outside with Awesome Kong while the wrestlers go at it in the ring. Evilise Hurricane Rana's the fuck out of Sadie, who then gets a boot to the vagina from Evilise as she's butterfly suplexed into her by Tennille. Tennille gives both wrestlers a bone-shaking crossbody. Whoa. Then Awesome Kong and Mrs. Rhodes finally comes into the ring to pick at the broken carcasses. Well, Kong does the damaging while Brandy points and directs. Sadie Gibbs gets one over on Awesome Kong, and she pushes her into Brandy, who go down like a sack of spuds. Distracted, everyone then piles onto Kong. Nyla Rose sets her sight on Brandy, but after some fancy footwork, to be honest, Nyla goes down. Satisfied with her work is done, Brandy relaxes in the corner while Awesome Kong eliminates Tennille Dashwood and then Eve Elise. Bye, ladies. Thank you for coming. We get another countdown, and the next group to come out are Hearts. I'm not sure what the other suits have been, actually. Doesn't matter. While Awesome Kong glares at the entrance to see who is coming, Kong is wearing a deep purple lipstick, by the way, and it looks gorgeous on her. Ellie, on the other hand, is dressed in gold and is sprinting to the ring like Roadrunner to take out Mrs. Rose as soon as she gets into the ring. Ellie starts laying into her, and we get Ellie and Brandy once again. We went over Ellie in episode 2, by the way, if you wanted to go have a look for that. Another one in this match coming down is ODB. She is a TNA/Impact Knockout legend. ODB, One Dirty Bitch, is now a very successful food truck operator of Big Al and ODB's meet and greet. The meat is as in food. ODB is from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Her finishes were the BAM, fireman's carry into a cutter, and a running power slam. Oh, so fireman's carry into a cutter and then a running power slam. Woo! She has a few entrance themes over her very, very long career. Her first was Bossy by Khalees featuring Too Short, which I'm like, fuck, nice. And she had Park It by Dale Oliver twice. I don't know who this person is. I'm About to Freak by Dale Oliver again was her longest theme. Once again, don't know who this Dale Oliver is. OBD is 4 times TNA Knockouts champion and 1 time TNA Knockouts tag champion with Eric Young. Don't ask. She was the captain of the first girls ice hockey team at her high school, which explains a lot. I thought that ice hockey would be fun for a while, but we don't ice hockey down here, and I moved on. Another legend is here by the name of Jazz. She has a warrior vibe within her. Her gear is on point. It's black and it's white and it looks amazing. Jazz is a legend. Her finishes were the bitch clamp, an elevated double chicken wing, and the Jazz stinger, which is a sit-out face buster. Jazz has won the WWF and WWE's Women's Championship. One of Jazz's trainers was Junkyard Dog. I bring him up because I was a fan of his as a kid. His card was one of the few that I made sure that I kept for as long as possible. With the ones with the bubble gum hair, like a big chain. He was so fucking cool. She is currently, this is Jazz, a producer and head of the women's division in NWA. Nice. Nicole Savoy magically appears on screen from somewhere. I assume it's magical because I have no idea where she came from. She didn't come down that last group of people, so I'm not too sure. I apologize, Miss Savoy. She's in purple and black with long battle pants and a bondage top, which is always a winner here at Don't Call Me Diva. You know, she, Miss Savoy, was Shimmer's champion for 721 days, people. But she still gets bonked on the head by Awesome Kong and she crumples to the mat. Savoy then gets thrown through the ropes at the wrestlers who are still fighting on the outside, and she takes them all out. Serves them right for not getting into the ring. Everybody starts to clamber into the ring now. And a Teal Piper, who's appeared out of nowhere, stands up to ODB and puts her in a sleeper, which is apparently her signature move. Now, Teal Piper is from Hillsboro, Oregon. Did I say that right? Who knows? In 2023, she beat the champion Leva Bates and Allison Kay in a 3-way for the ALW women's title. She has been in a bunch of movies. Oh, and she's Roddy Piper's daughter, by the way, just in case. Brandy is getting the beans beaten out of her by DMD. Sadie Gibbs is recovering from Awesome Kong in another corner, and Nyla drags Savoy by her hair out to the third corner. Nyla sees a bigger fish, though, and throws her smaller Nakoi fish over the top rope and back into the ocean. Goodbye, Nicole Savoy. Awesome Kong does the same with hers, which happens to be Teal Piper. And now we get a standoff between Awesome Kong and Nyla Rose. This is what everyone's been waiting for since both women were in the ring. Jazz, not to be outdone though, joins the Big Muscle Mamas meeting in the middle of the ring. ODB flings Teal Piper over the top rope, which I thought had already happened, but she's eliminated now. And ODB joins the other Power Babes in the middle of the ring. B. Priestley has escaped Sadie Gibbs and comes flying at Kong, breaking up the party. And ODB decides to join her in trying to eliminate Kong. Brody Rhodes update. Still getting the crap beaten out of her by DMD and Ellie. I got you. The counter goes off and it's time for the Joker. So we've had all four out. The final competitor. Before they do come out, though, ODB and Priestley successfully eliminates Kong. Then ODB eliminates Jazz. Two powerhouses out of the match. The entrance music is not familiar to me, but it's bass heavy and it's a bop. As soon as the name comes on the Titantron, though, the entire crowd erupts as it's Mercedes Martinez, a very dangerous wrestler. Brandy Chick, she's eliminated. Didn't see that happen, but I think it was a double team effort by DMD and Ellie. See you later. Mercedes gets in the ring. Ellie's like, fuck yeah, and races right at her. Mercedes spine busts the enthusiasm right out of Ellie, and she nopes herself out of the ring legally. DMD gets release Northern Suplex from Mercedes. Gibbs gets gifted a German suplex. B. Priestley didn't want to be gifted the suplex, but she got one anyway. And Mercedes soon beats the crap out of B with a brutal curb stomp that lays B out on the ground. Well, the mat ground. Nyla now stalks Martinez from behind her, gets her up in a fireman's carry, but Martinez wiggles out because she's real fresh now and gives Nyla her own suplex. This one is a Saito suplex. Ellie's back, and she's like, right, where was I? And goes back on the attack of Martinez. This time, getting her up onto her own shoulders and planting her on the mat with a lovely Death Valley driver. I love the way Ellie does this because she gets she gets her up and then she gets a little thing, she gets a little run up and then kabang! Ellie makes a mistake of trying to monkey flip Martinez, and she ends up flying over the top rope and is now very dangerously on the apron. Very close to an elimination. She avoids the attempt by Martinez to eliminate her, but Priestley comes out of nowhere, and then Nyla body slams Ellie to the floor, and she gets eliminated by Ellie. Well done, Ellie, but by Ellie. Sadie Gibbs, she's still here. She gets an extra boost in her tank from somewhere, and she starts taking out everybody until a boot to the face from B stops her. B wins the tussle between the two, and now Sadie Gibbs is absolutely released, which she is eliminated. And B is very happy with herself. Fair enough. DMD, B Priestley, Nyla Rose, and Mercedes Martinez are now all that is left in the ring. All four women just start going at it. DMD and Mercedes attempt to eliminate Nyla first, but a slip of good judgment from Mercedes allows B to get her over the top rope. Nyla turns the tides on DMD, and now she too is over the top rope on the apron. Both are hanging on for dear life, but a kick from B sends Mercedes to the floor, and now it's just the three. Priestley and Baker put their animosities aside just for a moment and start double teaming on Nyla. They whip Nyla over the top rope, but she holds on and saves herself for now. Both women look at each other because Nyla is on the apron and they run towards her. It's a bit of a dangerous idea, but I could see, they're thinking. But Nyla takes them both out with a cartwheel kick, which was very impressive. Very, very impressive. So basically, Nyla, like on the apron, goes for like a one-handed cartwheel, by the way, and both of her footsies splits off and whacks them in the face, knocking them out. Very, very impressive. A brilliant three-way match then kicks in as the final wrestlers fight for the spot in the upcoming World Championship match. Eventually, DMD wears B down and knocks her off the top turnbuckle, sending her crashing to the floor, and her women's title dreams are now halted. DMD got a gloat, though, and it bites her in the ass because Nyla is back up after the beating she took, and she is heading her way. She cannot see her, though, because she's too busy gloating at B. B grabs DMD's arm and pulls. Nyla picks up DMD and hefts her over the top rope. Eliminated. Nyla wins! She was there from the beginning, and now she will have her chance to win the first ever AEW World Champion. A championship against who? We don't know. We'll find out next week. There's no way of knowing unless you slightly look ahead. But that would just be rude, wouldn't it? You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Would you? All right. So that's it, people. That is the end of our show. Did you like it? I hope you did. Happy 17th of April, sickos. On what I lovingly named International Sickos Day, as I mentioned before, I hope we are all hydrated, warm, loved, and full of that AEW wrestling goodness. Time for us to end the show here, people. You can hit us up on our YouTube channel. Leave a comment on who your favorite women's wrestler currently is. I will allow outside entertainment to be included. Thank you to Shane, my excellent producer / editor promoter. Thank you to Sickos Club for always having my back. Today, I would like to shout out a wonderful person, Troubles with Weekly Wrestling Podcast. They are releasing a passion project of theirs soon, so go check out the latest episode for details on that. You can find me lurking in the dungeons of threads at Bex_Bastet. We'll see you next time, sickos. Don't be a dick.